Hello everyone, this is Edo Ninja, and you are now listening to the Storm Connect podcast, published by the King Size Life Network. I talk about gaming topics and animated series of my own interests like RWBY, Kingdom Hearts, Persona 5, and more. The goal I aim to accomplish on every episode is to provide insights on these subjects that are usually overlooked, to spread awareness, and learn more. In this episode, we are going to continue off to where we left off, Follow the Red Brick Road, Part 2. So, and this is, again, going off with the RWBY discussion like we had in the previous episode. So, and again, if you don't know what RWBY is, it is made by Rooster Teeth, an animated web show that features anime characteristics where 4 girls, Ruby, Weiss, Blake, Yang, and a few other traveler friends went from training to become huntsmen and huntresses to saving the world as they fought off against the creatures of Grimm. So, I am here joined with amazing guests once again. So, special guests, you may now introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Dakeem. I am a freelance voice actor based in London, and I am a huge fan of RWBY, and I'm joined by this amazing person, Edo Ninja, to talk about Volume 7, and Kimps. So yeah, hi.
Hi, I'm Kimps, and I'm a graphic designer, and that's just about it.
So, and of course, we cannot forget our other guest who showed up in this previous episode. So, I'll give him room for that one as well.
Cancelled.
Shut up.
So.
Yeah, alright. Cool.
Well, so with that being said, I also want to mention as well, Kimps, Tony, and also Nakeem here are all a part of this Kingdom Hearts graphic art community server. It is open to all 2D, 3D artists, graphic designers, animators, and video editors. So if you are interested in joining such a unity, I will put the Discord link on the show page. Now, if you're not caught up with the RWBY series, I suggest you tune into this podcast at another time, even though you should be caught up by now because, well, the volume's been done for about quite some time. So if you haven't caught up to that, I don't know what you're doing. Go watch the series right now. Go watch. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Anyways. Alrighty. So, in the previous episode, we kind of broke off the ice a bit by asking their 3 questions of the RWBY series before we talked about the premises of Volume 7. So, we're doing that again, but this time we have some different questions. Well, for only 2 of them. The first one, this one's gonna be only going to Nakeem, while the 2 and 3rd one is gonna be new to all of us. So, Nakeem. So, we're starting off with you. Mm-hmm. How did you get into the RWBY series?
I got into RWBY via a friend on Discord called Corey, and Corey, he's very big into the series, and basically I think he posted a picture of Weiss one time, and I was like, who is that? And he's like, oh my god, she's from RWBY, this amazing Rooster Teeth 3D animated show, and I was like, 3D? Ew. But he said, no, it's not like that, give it a chance. And around this time, it was like literally not even a couple weeks before Volume 6's release. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a watch, I'm gonna see what happens. And I ended up watching it religiously, and I got a bit too addicted to the show. And now I'm a huge fan, Oscar Pine stan to the day I die, Aaron Dismick stan to the day I die. But yeah, I ended up watching the entire show, and Edo was also into the show because I remember Edo talking about it on his previous YouTube channel. I was like, oh my god. And we started discussing about the hype that Volume 6 had, and that Volume 6 was the first volume I ended up like watching week by week, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, that's how I got into RWBY. Shout out to Corey.
It sounds like you were part of also the faction with Tony that basically just watched, like, binge through the several volumes before jumping into the 5th or the 6th one and such. So it's good that you have joined into this RWBY hype, and again, we're on this journey until the Volume 8, so we're gonna see how that goes. So, now that that's out of the way, we got the 2 new questions for this time. So, the second question is, favorite opening of the RWBY series? This time we're gonna start this off with Kimps.
Okay, I think my favorite song is, I think a tie between a couple, but I think the one that hits me the hardest, I think, is the Volume 2 opening. Because mostly for the nostalgia and the fact that the song's actually pretty good too. Because I was like watching RWBY since the very beginning, like following it really close, and like Season 2 was the first time it really ramped up and hit me. special way, so that has a special place in my heart. And also the music's great. So yeah, Volume 2 then.
I definitely have to agree with you on that. That's actually the time that I just got into RWBY before Volume 3 was premiered onto the YouTube channel of theirs. And I do agree with you that there was like a lot of nostalgia, and that was like almost at that peak that RWBY was just hitting, just before like it exploded to what it is right now. So that's a very great choice that you have right there. I respect that highly. How about you, Nakeem?
Let's Just Live from Volume 4 is definitely my favorite opening by far.
Ooh,
because
okay.
When I was listening to it, I don't know, it kind of just hit me. I was like, this is really good. And then I found out that Monty, unfortunately, passed away before this volume came to fruition. And if you listen to the lyrics, you can actually hear that it's kind of like, I guess you could say, sentimental connection to Monty, and it's really a bit, it's a very bittersweet opening, but I really enjoy it. Casey Lee went really into it, and it's one of my favorites, without a doubt. It's probably is my favorite.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was in contention to being one of my favorites with Volume 2 as well.
Yeah,
so
I
good.
feel like not many people really talk about Volume 4's opening, you know? Like, ever since, like, the new openings have come out and stuff like that, I have not heard anything about Volume 4 since then, though. But I love that strong opening that it has, like, right as, like, the opening, like, plays with the 4 colors and such, and then the Gram. And that's when they just switched on to the new engine, the Maya engine for the RWBY series. So it was definitely a great transition from there, and then the song complementing with that. Bless Casey Lee Williams, by the way, for that.
Yeah.
But I like that choice as well. Good choice. So, I'm not gonna lie, I had a hard time, choosing this opening. Before I reveal that, I will say my runner-up was Volume 5, Triumph. Cause that's when, cause again, like for me, I'll, reveal this a little bit. I was going through like a really tough time with my personal life. And, I don't know, just seeing things that were coming around, coming away along things with my life, and then that opening was released, I was like, wait a minute, yo, I feel like we're actually gonna overcome this, but we took too many L's and such. I took too many L's, so I just happened to vibe with the song immediately. I'm like, yes, no, I'm done taking these L's. I gotta win this one. So that used to be my #1 favorite opening. However, I will say I'm gonna have to give this one to Volume 6 Rising. I think, in my own personal opinion, they went crazy with the visuals for Volume 6, and the transitions to that as well were extremely good. As to Volume 5, it feels a little bit very slow paced though. This one, it just hit right on the spot. I was it just showed like a lot of hype, especially that Team RWBY was back together again. So I don't know, just something about that. I felt more strength with that one than I did with Triumph. And it took a little bit of a hot minute for me to actually feel that way though, but it won. It just won for me though. But that's just how I see it for Volume 6's Rising, opening compared to the Triumph in Volume 5. But those are my 2 run-ups, I suppose that you could say. So, yeah, now this one, the last question for all of us. Favorite song of Volume 7. Who wants to go first on that one?
Okay, so my favorite song from Volume 7 is War, and I believe it takes place, chapter 12? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when the Team RWBY is fighting against the Ace Ops. War is a very, I believe War wasn't made by Casey Lee. I'm not sure. I have to double check on that, but
Casey did sing, but like there was a other cast for that song as well. The Corte.
I follow the person who did that. I follow her Twitter because she is a voice actor for other anime, and her vocal performances are really good. And it's just cool because, you know, seeing the Ace Ops go against Team RWBY, they thought they had this like friendship, but I guess they didn't. And you know, the song kind of reflects that, and it's really cool. And
they really thought
they actually they assumed, they really assumed they got fucked up. But no, it's a really good song, very heavy hitting. I like aggressive RWBY songs. Like Lionize is one of my favorite tracks of the entire RWBY franchise. I love heavy metal shit, so there you go. Go listen to War.
Alright, okay, I respect that. How about you, Kims?
So, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not like that huge into the Ruby like soundtrack. Like, I love the music, it's just like, I've never really been compelled to like go search for it.
Wow.
However,
Man.
Trust Love is really
Of
good.
course.
Okay,
Of course. Yeah, of course, yeah.
alright, can I just shut up now?
No, continue.
Pardon me, I'm
Continue.
sorry, go
Continue.
Yeah. Yeah, that song's like actually a banger. Like, usually I'm very picky with my music, but like Trust Love is actually like really good. Like, I could listen to that for a really long time and not get bored of it. It's that good.
Honestly, for me, when I heard Trust Love, I did have a hard time like vibing with the song because I was really into Rising, so I'm just like, I don't know how they're gonna top this. Honestly, like I was kind of like feeling mad about it, but like the more I listened to it, the more it grew on me. But especially like I posted this out on Twitter though, but like especially the part to where Casey sings out like, you know, what was it? The part with Ironwood, hopes are shattered, stuff like that. There's nothing to say after that. But, you know, the song goes on with that, and then I just see Penny smile, and I'm just like, that just brought me life. I'm sorry, but that just brought me life. And, another part that I also want to mention as well, you know, right around the beginning for that opening, to where she sings out, you don't have to dream, your life is not a fantasy, something along the lines. I can't remember though, but it's just right around that part. And I don't know, I just actually feel like the love this time, like this one is not like a string. Like this is like the love and like people just being together for this opening. And it's not like, you know, it's just the love and people taking care of each other, and you know, they got each other's backs. That's what really made me enjoy this song a lot more. And you know, the instrumentals for that really was hitting for that as well, so I really enjoyed that as well.
Yeah.
So
I 100% agree.
definitely, again, bless Casey Lee Williams for this one.
Once again, our beautiful queen. Thank you.
We stand.
We stand. We definitely
So yeah, I had a hard time on this. Again, I keep having a hard time. But I'm gonna say this right now, the moment chapter 11 was dropped, and the first thing I hear was Hero, I'm sorry, but that one for me, it just took off everything. Something about that song, like, it definitely resonated with Ironwood, throughout that fight, and especially to how many sacrifices he's willing to make in order to basically, well, destroy Salem. But the fact that it was Caleb Hyles that sung that was a huge surprise, because he was known for his music in YouTube, not like in actual like record labels or anything like that with any that type of connection. So the fact that Rooster Teeth got Caleb to sing this song, like, it looks like Rooster Teeth really got a lot of people for this soundtrack entirely, and I can't wait for that to come, for that to be released.
That's something I've always like admired about Rooster Teeth and Monty's vision, is that they get a lot of lesser known. I guess you would say lesser known. I don't want to be like underrated. That sounds a bit disrespectful. Lesser known creators to work on Ruby and contribute like on music and art pieces and other stuff. That's really cool. I like the fact that they did that. They do that. They still do.
Yeah. I'm glad that Kruby, as of right now, are kind of just like still living up to that. And Caleb, I don't know, just something about his vocals, like he hit those notes. Just, wow, it spoke to me a lot. And I'm not gonna lie, there's some type of relations that I have with that song as well. So it just went too hard on that. And honestly, I would not expect that for a battle between Ironwood and Watts though. But you know what? I'll take it. It's my favorite song of Volume 7 overall. Like, that just won for me. So yeah, I think that's about it for any the questions and stuff like that. Y'all got anything to say before we dive right into this one?
No, I think we're good. I think I'm fine.
Let's go.
Alrighty. So, now that we have Nakeem here with us, especially for being mentioned a couple episodes, not just the Ruby episode, but he was also mentioned in the Kingdom Hearts episode. Here he is now. And today we're gonna go, I think we're about to go ham on this one. And I kind of am looking forward to that. we're gonna go straight back into Volume 7 and talk a little bit, open some of the subjects that we didn't really dive into. We're gonna open this a little bit more, and then after that, we'll be able to talk about more with Volume 8. Let's talk about Penny Polendina. Nikki, what do you think about Penny for this volume?
Did she need to come back? No. Was I happy that she came back? Yes, of course. Look, I love Penny. Alright, don't get it twisted. She's one of my favorite RWBY characters. I'm glad that she's back. I'm glad that she's in a lead position. And around the time before Chapter 13 was airing, people were like, oh my god, she's gonna get the thing. And I was like, no, that's stupid. And then she got it, and then I looked like an idiot. And yeah, so, you know, Penny's cool. I like Penny. I really do. I love her design. I love her personality. I love her dad. Her dad's a really cool person too.
Pietro Polendina. Yes,
Geppetto.
honestly.
Yes.
They, honestly, like, the way of how he was painted in the earlier volumes, like, they made him out to be some type of strict father, or like somebody that was like usually on edge or overprotective and such though, but that guy is just wholesome as much as she is, and that just took me by a huge surprise. I'm like, wow, they made him look some type of crazy overprotective father, which is normal, but like the way of how he acts and how he talks, it's like he's really looking out for the best for not just the people, but also for his own creation. And I honestly, like, I fell in love with the character very much, and I'm just happy that we got to explore a lot about him, and I hope we continue to do so more, especially with this connection with Atlas and Watts.
Yeah.
So, alright. I definitely want to go a little bit more about this. The Shnees. Jock Schnee, Willow Schnee, Whitley Schnee, and Winter Schnee. So, we talked a little bit about this last time, but I definitely want to dive a little bit more about this, especially with Jacques, Willow, and Whitley, because they're the ones that were like part of the family and not part of the military. So, let me go a little bit more into that first. I'm going to talk about Jock Schnee, in my case, that is, and then you guys can throw in and chip in at any time that you want to. So, Jock Schnee, for me, he, as much as that he is a horrible, abusive father, I have to say, he was actually good in this volume. And the reason why I say that is, yes, we did get to see his crazy, old, boring behavior nature, but I started to get, like, really, he started to catch my attention by the time that we got to the dinner table of, you know, inviting the conversation to Robin Hill, Ironwood, and discussing the matters of Atlas. And I said this before, but I'm gonna mention this again. I do find it interesting, the fact that even though he's shown his true colors to his family, and I guess to Ironwood as well, in a way, to the face public and to the councilmen, he is really good at controlling the conversation, because I expected some type of emotional outburst for whatever Ironwood is about to say, though, but no, he wasn't, like, manipulating the entire situation. He literally stated out exactly the concerns of Atlas. And, you know, he, in a way, like, yes, it came off in a way as an attack, though, but, like, the way of how Ironwood came off to the councilman of him hiding secrets, doing these crazy ass special missions or whatever and stuff like that, and they had no idea what it was for. And he just basically addressed that, and as a new councilman, I'm surprised that nobody questioned him about that though, but he did make a lot of great points with that. And it's scary that even though somebody like him that has that type of tantrum, he's still able to keep that cool head to when it comes to, well, saving his own ass, essentially, for the family name. So, I would say a little bit double-sided right there, but, okay. Alright, Jock Schnee.
The Schnees, again, I don't hate all of them. I really like Weiss, and I love Winter. But the dad, I've never really liked the dad. He's always felt like a Disney villain to me. He's always felt like he's just like this goofy, over-the-top. He's serious. I'm not saying he's goofy, but he's just this over-the-top, villainized person who will just go out of his way to make things worse for other people. And he does get his just desserts by the end of the volume, which I'm very happy about. But Nevertheless, I do agree with your points on him being two-sided, as you can kind of see from his position what's going on and how everything's been affecting. Again, the world of RWBY has a terrible economy, terrible government system, so I gotta agree with him there on some of the things. And Ironwood was kind of acting up, so, you know, it is what it is.
It only helped his case more.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a good scene to bring up tension.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though we have not seen that much of interactions between Jacques and Willow, it's just that it already spoken of volumes, especially to when Willow was introduced to the series. I am gonna say this. I'm pretty sure I said this in the last podcast episode, but if I did not, I am gonna say this now. I am very disappointed that we didn't get to see or learn that much of Willow after that.
Yeah, the mom, she's really absent. She gets 2 scenes, and I'm like, huh?
We didn't even see her in the ending. She just got shafted.
But she goes under bad mom category in RWBY because everyone in RWBY has terrible relationship with their parents, except Blake. She has a phenomenal relationship with her parents, but everyone else has terrible relationships with their parents. So, there you go.
I'm just trying to think if I can prove that wrong.
No.
I don't think I can.
No. If only. Well,
Does Penny have a mom?
Who?
Does Penny have a mom?
No.
Well,
Alright.
soon to be Maria.
Stop. Anyway.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
Anyway.
I'm sorry, but.
I'm just a little worried for Joff, because I don't think I'm not sure we're gonna see more.
I think
of
he's
him.
gone. I think he's done for
like,
now.
actually gone?
I think he's done for now. He's got arrested.
Yeah.
So
I wish we could see a bit more, to be honest.
What?
I feel like his objectives were really simple.
I feel like in the grand scheme of things, he doesn't really matter. Like, because Salem's here
Yeah,
now.
for sure.
Salem's here now, so that just like completely overrules any potential plot that he had. So it's like,
Right.
do we really need you?
Like, his purpose in the show was
Mhm.
that was off, basically.
When
Yeah.
villains, around the time when villains get like done or killed or arrested, their purpose in the show is basically done, unless they come back later. For example, I thought Cinder died, but then she came back. I could be proven wrong again. So
Now, see, here's the thing. I do want to address with that type of concern as well, actually, now that you guys say that. I think Jacques' purpose in Volume 7, it was well executed. He did serve his purpose quite well. However, I'm starting to notice the amount of characters in the RWBYverse, especially with each volume, it starts to increase. And because of that, there's a hard time of focusing with the other characters said so here and there.
Oh.
And I hope this doesn't continue. Like, I feel like with Jacques, it was appropriate though. But there's another character that kind of suffered through that, Adam Taurus. I feel like these type of characters, they suffer from that when they're only for like the subplot and not for like the entire main plot in a way. And I hope this doesn't continue, but it's starting to seem it's starting to seem like a trend here that like once that they come to this volume or whatever again, maybe 1 or 2 volumes, like their ending is just so short and short-lived instead of like rather to, you know, diving into it more appropriately and more fleshed out.
Are we allowed to bring up the time constraint, or is that in later point?
No. If you want to bring that up, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I've always had this issue with RWBY, and I think a lot of people have this issue where I guess Kruby and Rooster Teeth are sort of limited to 13 chapters per season. I don't know if this is a legal thing. I don't know if this is like a thing that they just have to do, but being limited to 13 chapters or episodes per season really affects the longevity and the character development and like development in as a whole for the series, because being limited to 13 episodes, you can't do much. You can't really develop many things, and a lot of things get either A, underdeveloped, or B, resolved right at the end of the volume. Prime example, Adam Torres. What's another example? I'm trying to think.
Jacques Schnee just won.
Yeah,
if
Jacques
he's
Schnee.
done for sure.
Even
another one is Kali.
Kali.
Or not Kali. Oh my god, why did I say
Sienna
Kali?
Khan?
Sienna Khan is what I
Yeah.
meant to say. My bad.
Sienna Khan and who was the main antagonist of Volume 6?
Roman Torchwick.
No, 6, the old lady.
Or 6?
old lady.
Oh, fucking.
Oh yeah, what the?
Oh god, I just forgot about her name.
Gundam.
But she was the one that was holding down the fort. Yeah, her.
Like, I've noticed that once it gets to the climax, things just have to get resolved. There is no, it just gets resolved immediately, and it's like, oh, that kind of sucks. I wish RWBY had a bit more episodes, maybe 15. I think 15 would be fair.
Caroline Cordovan, that was her name.
Yeah, Cordovan. But yeah, I feel like if RWBY had a bit more time, we would get a bit more development, because it feels like they're rushing things sometimes, and I don't feel like they're rushing things. I feel like they are planning stuff, but because they're constrained to 13 episodes per season, it's like, yay. But yeah, that's how I view it.
I do have to agree with that. I mentioned that before, that like that's also another worry of mine, especially the one thing that RWBY still suffers to this day is the episode longevity consistency. Some episodes might be 17 minutes, some episodes might be 30 minutes and stuff like that. Like, we're at least now at the point where, like, any of the episodes, they're not under 10 minutes, but, like, some of them would just be here and there and such, so I'm not so sure of, like, what's the actual constrained time for that, and as to why we can't have a fixed duration. Which, in a way, I do see the inconsistency with the longevity of the episodes benefit, but if you want my personal opinion, I feel like that was only a benefit to Volume 6 rather than Volumes 4, 5, and now 7, if you want my personal opinion, especially to how the volume concluded.
Honestly, if it was for me, I would have much longer. I would still have 13 episodes, but much longer episodes and better developed episodes, and just end them with cliffhangers. I'd rather have cliffhangers leading into the next volume, like nothing really resolved, but like leading into the next volume, then having everything resolved by the end of said volume. That's just my personal opinion. I think Volume 6 did this very well. So, yeah, it's just me. Hang on.
How about you, Kims?
I feel like, it should be longer. I do agree with the issue that Edo has with the inconsistencies of length. I think that's like a huge bothersome of like, it's just kind of an issue with me. Whenever like, it's the new week, I check into the new episode and it's like, 15 minutes, that's all we get.
Minutes.
And then you watch it. And it's not even as like dense as it could be. It's a problem. I think, they need to figure that out sometime.
Right. So, I don't know. That's something, because I feel like that's not going to change anytime soon. But if it is, I just hope, like, there's, like, again, like, I'd rather have, like, the shortest episodes go first, and then as we progress through the volume, it'd be the longest. Because, obviously, but we had to get to the end of the volume, and we had to see what's going to be, like, the crazy, like, cliffhanger until we had to wait until the next fall. So, at least that's my opinion. Again, like, I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything like that, though, but I feel like things would be more executed that way. Or at least, of course, have your longest, the start, the first episode, and then the end. The last episode, and then you just have the build-up with the shortest to the longest, and I think it'll be more appropriately fleshed out. Have the introductions with the new characters and basically what their concerns are. You build that up a bit, and then, you have to find out to what your climax is. And then, well, it'll happen within the final 2 to 3 to 4 chapters if necessary. So, I don't know, like, what the type of layout plan they're planning to have, if they're gonna keep it or not, but it's just that, because again, we didn't know much about Robin Hill, besides the fact that she happens to be the hero of Mantle. We don't know about her Happy Huntresses. And again, just so many unanswered questions that go here and there. And sometimes they usually solve it with a character short or like a RWBY sub show to complement that, so we have better understanding of the world and such, though, which is fine and all. But if they're there for whatever is happening for the main plot, they have to be careful with that and display that appropriately and in time, rather than just, well, again, short-lived until God knows when.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's the time constraints that the time constraint issues that goes on with RWBY. I'm pretty sure that, like, it's present among with the other community members. But, I think this kind of just proves another point with Volume 7. Because in Volume 7, like, it seemed, this is the first volume that's making like it's like what I said in the last podcast episode. Volume 8 is gonna be a Volume 7 Part 2. That's essentially of what it is. It's kind of divided, but it's being labeled as Volume 8. Unless, again, Volume 8, that changes. But there's still an Atlas, and Salem has arrived there, and they're gonna have to protect the 2 relics. And keep that away, and, well, try to fight off against her early in the war, even though this is all happening a little bit too early. But, with that being said, yeah, no, like, again, we only know Crow's and Robin's fate. They're put into jail, and, Salem is there. Team Ruby and Penny as the new Winter Maiden. We're planning to escape Atlas, especially for the shit that Iroh wants to pull. But, yeah, no, just everything is just happening so fast into that. That episode alone, there was a lot going on, which is not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. But the time constraint of that, I believe that episode was a total, like, around the range of 21 to 24 minutes. And usually the endings are a little bit longer than that, though. But that's just usually. But it's just the way of how everything happened. It's just like, whoa, we got a little bit of a montage of, like, what's going on with Oscar and Penny about to become the Winter Maiden. And then you have Ozpin's monologue, which it was very fitting at the time. But, it's just, a lot of things felt pretty unfinished. But I guess that's how it was meant to be, especially to what Volume 8 is going to be next. So.
Yeah. I guess with that being said, we can... What are we going to be transitioning into now?
Well, okay, so... okay, alright. Alright, I'll let you have this one. Let's dive into a little bit more as to one of the characters that shined in this volume, Oscar Pines.
Yay!
So, actually, you know what, Nakeem? Do you want to?
Alright.
Ready minutes.
Go ahead. Go. Whatever you have to say, I'm not stopping you.
First off I want to thank Rooster Teeth and Team Crewbie for giving my son actual character development. Wow! Oh my god. No way. No, but for real though, honestly, I was so happy. I had like a smile on my face anytime Oscar was on screen. There were moments where Oscar would disappear for like 2-3 episodes straight, and I'm like, what? Where did he go? What is he doing? But no. It was really good that they actually focused on him, because that was my biggest gripe with Volume 6, is that they kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, they kind of clickbaited me, because it was like, oh, Oscar's gonna be in the shine light for Volume 6, but he wasn't. He just kind of wasn't. He was there. He had moments, but they were off-screen moments. But in Volume 7, they definitely fixed this by making Oscar... He's kind of in the middle between this conflict, and you feel kind of bad for him, because once again, that burden being brought up. His relationship with Ironwood was really cool too. I really liked that Ironwood trained him, and that they kind of had this whole thing going on where he was trying to reach Oz through Oscar, which was good. Just Oscar finding it hard to answer stuff. Also, shipping, not a topic of conversation, but Rose Garden fans will definitely really enjoy this volume, because they're hinting at a lot of Ruby and Oscar stuff, which, do you. I'm not gonna stop you from doing you, but not the biggest fan, but it's whatever. I can't stop. And then it all reaches to the climax, and I remember when it was revealed that Oscar got kidnapped, or when he wasn't in his room, I freaked the fuck out. I was like, oh no, he's dead. They got him. He's gone. I started like freaking out. Turns out he was fine. He punches Neo.
He's just around the corner.
He punches Neo, comes out, punches Neo. He has his little moment. And Oscar's speech to Ironwood was amazing. Aaron Dismick, if you're listening to this, you're amazing. That was great vocal performance. I really enjoyed it. And fucking Ironwood shoots him, so yeah, Ironwood just shoots him, and I almost screamed, because I was like, oh no, he's dead. I was every day on Twitter I would be like, this is it. This is Oscar's time to shine. He's gonna do it. Next chapter, and he doesn't do it. And I'll be like, next chapter, and he doesn't do it. And I'll be like, next chapter. And it eventually got to chapter 13, and then he got shot, and I'm like, oh shit, he's dead. I'm an idiot. I'm gonna look like a clown. But
shout out to Alex and Killer Fang.
yes. But no, he unlocked. I don't know what he unlocks. I don't know if that's his semblance. I'm not sure.
I don't think that was
I
a
don't
semblance.
think it is, because it seems like it was just Ozpin's Kane doing some magical shit. Because that's probably what it is, but I don't think Oscar unlocked his semblance, which is a bit disappointing because I really wanted him to. But no, I'm really happy he had time to shine, and hopefully in Volume 8, since Oscar will be separated from the team, he will have even more great moments to add to the series. Unless, you know, Rooster Teeth says fuck Nakeem and he gets no development next volume and he dies. So, you know, yeah, it's fun.
So, I have a question for you, actually. This is something that was kept in my mind since the past couple weeks, since the last podcast episode was debuted. I wonder, what is your, what are your thoughts, or I should say your response to Tony's comments regarding with Oscar's Pine's style of combat?
Okay, Tony, I just want you to know, if you're watching this podcast, I hate you. Like, I want to kill you, honestly. Because this man...
Cancel.
So, right. What is... I can't even remember what he said, so...
He said bopped in the head with a cane.
Yeah. So...
Cancelled.
When I was listening to the previous podcast, Tony was talking about Oscar, and I was like, really like, oh, bro, he knows what he's talking about, right? And then he was like, yeah, you know when Oscar hit the Grim with the stick. I was like, stick? Okay, whatever. Fuck you, Tony. Anyway, moving on.
That's the only
tea.
conclusive point.
That's tea. Well, okay, here's my thing, like if I'm gonna be actually serious about this, like, I didn't make a comment about this at all, in the previous volume though, but I think I want to dive a little bit more into this, now that you said, well, not only that you said that though, but now that I brought up this, the combat with RWBY Volume 7, it felt very different to me. And I don't know if it's in a good way or a bad way. And I was hoping, like, I get it. Like, Oscar, he just was added into the RWBY Volume series. He's not, like, a professional huntsman or whatever. Or, like, you know, he's not been training as much, like, you know, as hard as, you know, Team RWBY, Team Junior, or should I say Orange, that Tony wants to call them now. And the rest of the huntsmen that were introduced to the series, right? I feel like they made some type of comment that Oscar, like, he's becoming more familiar with the cane, and of, like, he's getting better to wielding it, though, but I'm just not seeing that. Like, there's just some type of inconsistency with the combat. I'm not gonna go too much into this again, like, you know, again, Team Junior versus Neo. Like, I already said my points about that, though. But, another thing that, like, is common with RWBY, they hype so much about a character's, like, you know, threat level, or, like, you know, how good they are as a fighter. Crow Bronwyn is a great example, actually. He was supposed to be this great huntsman that's an actual threat to Salem's forces, but, like, they don't actually prove that. And then the next thing you know, there was a question that was answered that, oh yeah, Crow is about the same level as Team RWBY. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, the power levels in RWBY are very inconsistent, because even, like, watching the show, again, Crow is a very high-leveled huntsman. Very high level, because it was stated at the beginning of the series, but then he's out here losing almost every fight he's been in. Well, he's won. I'm not saying he hasn't won, but he loses a lot, especially as of recent. He's been losing a lot. He lost to the Aesops. He got captured by them very easily in the first episode. I'm like, huh? This high-level huntsman? Okay.
And it's really odd to me, especially to, like, how long he's been a huntsman and such, and it's just like, how did Team RWBY be at his level so fast? I don't believe that, unless, again, the only exception is that they're maidens, but they're not, you know?
Even as much as I love that scene where Oscar punches Neo, even I was like, how? How is Oscar even touching Neo? The power levels are very inconsistent, very weird. I think they need to clarify how this works. At least like try and bring it up and explain that, because it's like, yeah, even the Aesops versus Team Ruby, I don't agree with that, but you know, yeah, conversation in itself.
Because I get, like, of how they're trying to handle with plot conveniences here and there, but, like, it's just, it doesn't seem to be that way. It's just, you know, again, like, if the character was supposed to lose in this fight, and then, you know, the L's keep adding on and such, you should have not hyped this character to begin with. Oh, well, the argument to that, well, it could be that, you know, Salem's forces are really dangerous and such, and, like, yeah, they're not, you know, the people that want to be messed with, even with someone like Crow, but it's like, it's not even just that. The only fight that I've actually seen him win is his battle against Winter. Even though it was kind of unfinished, that man was hardly like, you know, he was just playing around with her, you know? And he won his battle against Tyrion because of the assistance of Clover and Robin. Fuck you, Clover. Anyways.
Yeah. It's just...
And with Oscar, it's just the fact that, like, all he does, like, you know, you see all these huntsmen, like, doing these crazy moves, and then Oscar, like, you know, they give this innuendo, this impression that, like, he keeps improving it at a ridiculous pace because Ozpin has control over Oscar and such. So, like, he's starting to memorize more of body movement, stuff like that, here and there. But then, like, you know, again, all he does is just like, oh yeah, bop, punch.
I'm gonna hit him with the stick. I'm like, okay, sure. You do.
Yeah, and I'm just here like, can we see something good for, like, because again, you have these characters that are hyped up, and then you have these characters that are, like, low, but then they're able to, like, play off against someone like Neo in a weird way. I don't understand that.
I will give Volume 7 a lot of credit. The fight choreography has definitely improved. They were improving a lot in Volume 6. They were much faster paced, and it kind of felt like Monty style for a while. Especially towards the end, and I think Volume 7 has improved. I love the whole free-for-all aspect that 7 has. Like, there's 2 fights in particular. It's just the one fight with Crow, Tyrion, and Clover. That's one of my favorite fights. I know it gets a lot of hate because of the context, but I really enjoyed the whole free-for-all aspect. I like the fact that Crow, there's like little moments where Tyrion would push Crow towards Clover and then fight, and the 3 of them clashing. It's just really cool. I'm a big fan of free-for-alls, so, you know, very cool.
It starts to feel like more like an arena type of idea. Which, you know, the setting may not look like it though, but like of how it's been. Yeah, I have to agree with you on that, actually. And, like, actually, now that you say that, I think the only one-on-one fight that we've ever had in this, you know, volume was Watts versus Ironwood.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So, but, you know, with this one, we had, like, a lot of 4v4s, you know, 2v1s and stuff like that, which, you know, yeah, no, that's actually really interesting that you brought that up. I didn't realize that.
I really want, like, towards the end game of Ruby, I want a lot more of that, because if we're gonna fight Salem forces, we need as much help as we can get. So, you know, we gotta start teaming up. We gotta start doing stuff together. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that's my final point on that.
Right. So I definitely am with you on that. How about you, Kimps? Anything from you?
Yeah. So with the choreography, I feel like something that I noticed is I feel like they use rooms and space differently in this season.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the areas that had to fight were bigger on different areas, and it felt a little different in different spaces and whatnot. So that's something I noticed. It's they have worked with big spaces before in like the earlier seasons, but I feel like they were a bit more hesitant.
Mm-hmm.
Like around maybe 4, 5, 6-ish. But
I agree with that.
I think they're much more confident with the Maya engine, and especially Ironwood versus Watts is a great example in my opinion, because the set piece literally moves as they're fighting, and that's something that Ruby, you know, they have cool set pieces, and I like when they do abstract stuff like this, where like the set piece moves and does volcanoes, is really cool atmosphere and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I do wish that I think this was said in the last podcast episode though, but if not, then the arena. The Amity Tower arena, only the platforms were used and not, you know, the rest of the other scenery changes that the tower offers. It was just only gravity, which, I mean, again, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the time constraint for an actual full-fledged fight, though, but it was still a great fight nonetheless, though. But, like, I see that, like, some type of spacing, it's affecting a lot of the things in the environment overall, so but you know, it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad thing and such. Like, you know, I'm still saying like it's good though. But like, I will say it's a different type of direction. So, but I'd say that's still decent nonetheless. So, ooh, here's another one. I will say the one thing I am disappointed is the fact that like I didn't get to see much more of this because I feel like the time total of this is pretty short. Robin Hill, because again, she was meant to be the hero of Mantle, and you know, she's like basically the wide respected, you know, woman huntress in the kingdom. But we hardly saw her fight, which hopefully Volume 8 might change that, but I don't know. Do you guys have anything to say about her fighting style and like, you know, her screen time overall, maybe?
I feel like she was kind of underwhelming in some aspects. She was very hyped up. I remember when they revealed that Christopher Lee, the voice actress, was gonna be involved. Christina Lee. I'm so sorry, sweetie.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. But when they revealed that you know the word, yes, the name, was gonna be involved.
Wow.
I love her work on Miraculous, and I love her work on Hunter x Hunter. So I was like, whoa. That's so cool. They got a big name voice actress. I wonder who she's gonna play. And then we saw in the opening, I was like, that's definitely gonna be her. And it was her. And it just kind of felt like Robin Hill was hyped up. I thought she was gonna be the Winter Maiden, in all honesty. I thought she was gonna get it. I generally believed from the beginning that it was gonna be her, and that
I see that
it was gonna happen, but it didn't. And I wasn't upset that it didn't happen. I was just a bit upset that they didn't do much with her. She felt like she could have been another Raven type character, but they didn't do much with her, in my opinion. Really like her semblance, pretty cool, and she has a really cool design. And her, you know, you can understand the perspective that she's coming from. Because again, she's also one of those in the middle characters, like, okay, what the fuck is going on? I just want to be right for the people. Atlas. So it's like, But no. Hopefully we see more of her. Because she's locked up, so. Yeah.
Definitely.
Hopefully.
I think that, because again, like, because I get, like, she's a support character, like, someone that was just, you know, introduced, but the impression that they gave off, like, she also knows the existence of Salem, so we're obviously going to need her help big time. I don't know, it's just, there was not that much that I really see with her, like, you know, like, how she acts, what her character serves, I think it's amazing, it's great, and she's a lovable character, at least in my opinion. But yeah, no, it was a little bit underwhelming as time went on, because it's just like, she's just there, and, you know, like, especially even with the fight scenes, you know, her fight scene against with Blake and Yang, it wasn't like a full fleshed out fight, it was just, well, you know, I'm not gonna let you catch me. And the other one, she was just basically a support character, which she served to be great at that, though, but it's like, we haven't seen her type of capabilities, and I really hope they do not do the same thing to her as they did with Crow, you know? I'm tired of this, that they're hyping up these characters and then they're not actually what they are to be, and we got baited.
She's really about to be ship bait for Crow. I'm upset.
God,
but
no.
The problem I had with Robin is I feel like that it didn't write her strongly as a huntress character. Like, it almost wasn't important that she was a huntress. Right? It was more like a voice, a political person.
I didn't think of that until you said that now. Huh.
Like, you could almost take out the fact that
if you get rid of, like...
I say almost because there are some parts where it's kind of important, but...
If you get rid of...
Mostly...
If you get rid of the whole huntress aspect from her character, it doesn't really take much from the season.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, exactly. She's more of a voice. Especially with her semblance, it's, like, very obvious what her role is.
And that's not a bad thing. It's just, like... They need to, like, if she's gonna be a huntress, especially that happens to be someone that was excelled from the academy before, like, she went to Atlas Academy, even though she didn't go there, then, oh yeah, no, definitely she should have more of that type of huntress characteristic, and I don't know, it wasn't really displayed that much. I hope that they do dive more into that, especially too, that right now it's not about PR or anything like that. Like, now they actually have to fight off against Salem directly this time. So, if anything, maybe this will give her another chance to do that. Because again, like, I love what she serves and what her character is and such. So, if they could continue with that, that'd be great. If not, then, oh yeah, no, just her being a huntress is almost rendered kind of pointless, unfortunately.
Right, yeah.
So, I think that's all I have to say with Robin. No, actually, I take that back. There's a little bit more of a comment that I have to make as well. Her happy huntresses. Why were they there?
Because, you see, one of them is related to that guy from Volume 4, from Weiss's party, so therefore, character development, I don't know. They're actually,
Wait,
I think
what?
one of them is related. You know that guy that was, like, trying to flirt with Weiss at the party?
Oh,
yeah, one of
was
the
he like an emo-looking
Huh?
guy? I thought he was like an emo.
Yeah,
guy.
that fucking loser, Kagi Films, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, his name was Henry Marigold, and, the other one is May Marigold. And actually, that's actually the first, trans character into the show.
yeah. She's related to him. I don't know why that's a plot point, but it is. So, yeah. Let's go. Representation. But also, they don't really do much, and that's kind of upsetting. They just kind of stand.
They get
They're
hurt.
like, Ace Ops bad, work good. I'm like, okay.
Okay, it's just that, like, I want to know why are they part of, like, Robin's inner circle, you know? Because they're just there, though, but it's like, why? What did she do with those people specifically that made her want to follow her and, like, be trusted
In
there?
Robin Hood, I think what she's based off of, the Merry Huntsmen, or I can't remember what they're called, the Merry Men, they assist Robin because Robin has trust in all of their equal abilities and trust them like brothers, basically. But we don't get much of Robin Hill and these girls. It's like, whoa. Her team.
Yeah, I feel like, with Robin, she had a good amount of screen time. I just feel like to what was portrayed, I feel like some of it was not exactly necessary that some should be portrayed off as to other questions. And honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, I don't think we're gonna get that chance in Volume 8. I could be wrong about that, because Volume 7 would have been a perfect chance for that. But because of, the biggest threat in the goddamn world of Remnant is there, oh, fuck yeah, no, everyone's gonna be fighting for survival rather than actually, like, diving into the characters a little bit more appropriately. And the Happy Huntresses, so who wants to bet money that some of them are dead?
Like, all of them, all of them are gonna die. All of them are gonna die.
The Happy
That's
Huntresses.
Yeah. I don't even know if we'll ever see them again. So yeah,
they're just irrelevant,
they're just gonna get
unfortunately.
eaten by whale.
Like, they're gonna get the Forrest treatment. Remember Forrest?
Oh
Great character.
yeah. Well, but at least he had lines.
Yeah, he had like 3-4 lines, and then he just poor Forrest, man.
had
He had
more
something to
lines
say.
than-
I feel like he had something to say. He was kind of.
He looked up to the Huntresses. Man, why couldn't he join them, man? I feel bad. Like, what?
Because that guy got a mouth.
That boy got destroyed, sorry. Anyway.
Oh god. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, they had the right amount of time. It was just oddly, I wouldn't say poorly, just oddly executed, and some places they were already explored as enough as is, so there's some of the things that we should have been able to dive into though. But it's not entirely bad. However, yeah, I don't know. I just hope that, again, even though we're saying this as of right now, we're gonna wait until, let's see, it's March 7th as of right now as we're recording this. Yeah, we have until like 6 to 8 months until the new Ruby volume premieres, or I don't know, again, maybe another companion book will be revealed and we'll be able to see like more of the story there, because apparently like they reveal some interesting details, not too much, but interesting details about these Setsu characters. By the way, if you haven't bought that Ruby companion book, I suggest you do that, because the art in there is beautiful and you'll be able to learn a lot more about the characters, what goes on behind the scenes and such. Go buy that.
I just want my Oscar Pines character sheet. Oh my god, man. Fuck. Stupid.
I'm surprised that hasn't been released, actually.
I don't know what's going on.
He's not an important character.
Even the app Ruby, what is it called? Almighty?
Amity.
Arena?
Amity Arena, yeah.
Ruby Amity. Like, the team came out, they were like, oh, the reason Oscar isn't here is because we're gonna show off something in Volume 7, and he still isn't there. And I'm like, what? Why did you lie to me?
Okay, alright, Nikki, if it makes you feel better, I haven't even got my Raven character art character sheet, so...
well... But you got your PNG from Amity, so you know what? You got it. Anyway,
Oh my god.
it's fine.
Wow.
It's fine.
Okay, I see you. But
It's fine.
you know, but with that being said, though, like, yeah, they even revealed Robin Hill's character. Okay, I'm done. Anyways, yeah, that's all I really have to say. With that, how about actually, okay. This kind of ties back into Oscar, but I feel like you have some words about this, Nikki. Let's talk about the General Ironwood. What are your
That boy
thoughts?
wildin'.
What are
That
your
boy-
thoughts?
That boy wildin'. Okay, so Ironwood, you know, I was really sympathetic towards Ironwood at the beginning. I was like, you know what? This dude has been through a lot. He has PTSD. He's stressed. This boy has a beard. Like, he was going through it, right? And I'm like, I kind of feel bad for him. I hope things get resolved quickly. I hope the Salem threat gets, you know, he doesn't know who to trust anymore. And Ozpin lying and stuff, it just was really bad.
Right.
And him and Oscar had a really cool relationship, as I stated before, and it was really going good. But then, like, chapter 10, Ironwood started acting up, bro. I don't know what happened, but, you know, after his confrontation with Watts and his hand being all fucked up and shit, he was like, you know what? Nah, you ain't getting no damn relics. Fuck you, kids. I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm gonna tell the world about Salem. I'm like, Ironwood, what? What? It was not good. And then he shoots Oscar, and it's just like, yeah. He's interesting. He definitely became an antagonist. I don't like him. I want him to die, honestly. Volume 8, hopefully he dies. But he just got filled with hatred, and his goal changed, and it's like, okay. He doesn't kill Watts, but he shoots Oscar. Alright.
James is what my friends call me.
Head ass, bro. I don't even want to hear it, bro. It's head ass.
You, it's General.
And he just shoots him, and I'm like, Ironwood? You can't kill a 30-year-old sociopath, but you can kill a 14-year-old kid?
Oh, what's that?
I don't fucking care how old he is. He's pretty old. He's old. You see those pictures? He's old.
Yeah, then why'd you call him 30?
I don't know how old he is. What the hell?
You know, that's one thing. I hope they don't do this again, though, but I'm gonna go back to Nakeem's point earlier that was made, that apparently this is a specific trend for Oscar. He disappears for one episode. We don't know exactly what happens, like, and even when we get, like, a small explanation, we don't even know, like, what went down. Like, there's no flashback, no, like, behind the scenes of or anything like that. No. It's just, oh yeah, I disappeared because I was depressed, self-reflection, and here I am. I'm back.
That boy was deadass about to kill himself, and then he comes back like, oh bro, I'm fine. I just went to the H&M store, bought some new clothes. Let's go make some casserole. I'm like, what? No, where did you go? They don't. I mean, unless we get an Oscar Pine short, please, Rooster Teeth, if you're listening to me, I will pay money.
I actually would be
I will
down
pay
for
money.
Dude, it's just him going shopping? Oh no.
No, just show us the scenes where he's just not there. Tell me what he's doing. What is he up to? Who is he talking to? Huh? You can't. There's so much things that this 14-year-old boy could be thinking about, but we never get any confirmation or clarification of what he's doing.
I feel like we need to dive a lot more with Oscar, because that man is forced to be, you know, burdened with a grave responsibility of someone else's bullshit, and he can't control it. Ozpin can't control it. So it's like, you would think that Oscar might be having some type of crisis, but, you know, which again, like, the way of how he's acting in Volume 7, don't get me wrong, it's fine. I loved because, like, you know, again, he's still able to prevail through because of Team RWBY and, you know, how they've been, because everything's been happening so fast though. But it's like that man was kind of like he was having a little bit of a crisis by volume 5, but as time goes on, you learn about the lamp and, you know, of how everything else is going with volume 6 to 7, and it's like he disappears again and he comes back and then, well, shafted again until the ending with that amazing heroic landing. But even then, it's like, I don't know. It's like, when is gonna be the time that, like, Oscar is gonna really shine? Because, like, he did shine, but I feel like it could have been a little bit more because, again, he's dealing with an old soul inside of him, and, you know, he wants to handle it, which is fine and all, but it's just a slow transition to Ozpin. It still feels Oscar, don't get me wrong, but, you know, hopefully with Oscar's purpose, he's not going to just be one of his lives, and if that's the case, well then.
Look, my theory, this is my little headcanon, towards the end of RWBY, I think Oscar's hair is going to progressively get white. I don't know why. I just feel like that's a thing that's gonna happen.
You've just watched Tokyo Ghoul, haven't you?
Yeah, I just watched Tokyo Ghoul and I just watched Yu-Gi-Oh! So, you know, I want it to I still want his hair to turn white. Or just have a little bit of white in his hair. It's cool.
I'm gonna Photoshop that and see, like... Actually, I'm gonna have that as the podcast episode when I advertise that. We're gonna see that, actually. Why not?
He's been noted.
Oh no, he's not!
His eyes turn yellow, so, you know.
It's too late.
I guess that gives another reason for Kingdom Hearts to have a crossover with RWBY, but...
Keep dreaming.
So, but yeah, no, I don't know. It's just, there is a lot of I think Volume 7, it really made me talk a lot about Oscar, because there was, like, a lot to go on, and of course, Nakeem, like, he has all the in-depths of Oscar and questions about it. It kind of opened my eyes a lot more to his character, so... again, thank you for joining with us, Nakeem.
You're welcome.
So, with that being said, is there anyone else that wants to make a comment with Volume 7 overall?
Nah, I think I'm done for that. Really good volume overall.
Yeah, really good.
Great music. And Volume 8.
Alrighty, so as you've heard earlier, we're now going to transition to the Volume 8 expectations, hopes, dreams, and disappointments, possibly. Okay, I want to be the first one to say this. I'm gonna put down money that I bet you anything. If I'm not gonna bet it for this volume, but I will say this overall. I do see Atlas falling. Literally. On top of Mantle. That floating a sky city is gonna fall. Because they're gonna get that staff one way or another. That's just gonna come out of that door.
That could happen. A lot of people are gonna die. But, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Happens. Casualties. But, see, we're in a bad position right now. Salem's here. She has her whale house. She has her new outfit from Gucci. She has, you know, her children are here to watch everything transpires. Just everything's looking a bit, yeah.
You'd expect that for, like, the actual climax for the show overall, unless, like, this is it. This is coming a bit too fast because we have not even been to Vacuo yet.
Oh, Sun, how I miss you.
Okay.
Bring back Sun for Volume 8.
That'd be nice.
Fuck yeah. Well, he's on his book adventures. He's doing stuff with Team Coffee. But
also be on the lookout for that. It's called Before. I think it's called Before the Dawn. Yeah, it's something like that. So, that's gonna come out in July. I will also leave that into the link, pre-order that, and yeah, I mean, hey, it's kind of looking pretty good, especially that Team Sun met up with Team Coffee. So yeah, let's see how Vacuo is doing when that book release. But continuing on forward, yeah, because it's like what I said earlier. Team RWBY and Penny, they're not going to leave Atlas. Especially after seeing that giant whale. They're definitely not going to leave Atlas, and they had to go get Oscar and Crow, obviously. And hopefully, again, this is just a personal wish, and Robin Hill too. But, But if not, well then, at least they had to get back those two. And my thing with that is the fact that Penny being the Winter Maiden, yeah, they're gonna open that door. Salem's gonna force that door to open. And, you know, she now has the lamp. Cinder got that. She's about to deliver that to Salem. So now they just need that fucking staff.
Okay, this is something that's been on my mind. What if Cinder doesn't deliver it to Salem?
Ooh.
I know, look, I'm not trying to say Cinder isn't loyal, because she is, but I don't know. I don't feel like Cinder's the type of person to follow orders. Well, she's denied. She's not followed. She hasn't been following orders for a while.
Yeah, that's
so
true. I've always thought she was gonna go rogue at the end.
Yeah, I always thought that Cinder was gonna leave the faction and do her own thing for a while. But then again, she still has that Grim Arm. So,
well, remember, there's this certain objective that Cinder pretty much found the loophole to Salem. You know, she's like, you're not allowed to kill her at all, but Neo can kill her, because she doesn't have an order like that. So, Cinder, in a way, is kind of finding around a loophole to this. So, it's like, I can't kill her, but you can. And Salem can't get mad at me for that or kill me off, because I didn't do it.
In all honesty, I feel like Neo's gonna backstab Cinder at some point.
There's gonna be a lot of
Volume 8.
backstabbing.
Because... look, there's this whole meme whenever Cinder shakes someone's hand, something bad happens. Raven, we all know that. Please bring back Ravenfall Volume 8 too. I miss Mama Raven.
Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. There's no way in hell, no way these bitches are gonna win against Salem unless they bring back that fucking monster. I'm telling you, like, because Raven, again, I said this in the last podcast episode, she hardly used her maiden powers, and she still kicks Cinder's ass with a complementary of the maiden powers, not going all out raw power. So even if she's that fucking good, imagine what she can fucking do as, at her peak. So
it's over. It's over, but I feel like Neo's gonna backstab Cinder, and I don't know if kill Cinder, because I want Jean to kill Cinder. Yeah. I don't know why. I feel like that's just a personal victory for me. I want Jean to do it.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
It's just, Jean gets shafted a lot. He doesn't get to do much. I don't hate him. The writers make him like this goof boy. They don't really do much with him.
Oh, I hate him.
So it's like... yeah, well, yeah, I know you do. But I want Jean to stab Cinder in the neck or in the chest, dumb bitch. I want her to die.
Like I said, I hope she has the most gruesome, violent death in the entire show. I hate her.
Just gets punched by Oscar.
Yeah, in both ways. Oh god, if that happened, that's crazy.
Oscar kills Cinder, I'm done. That's it. It's over.
Like, I hate her both ways. Like, I hate her the fact that, like, she's bullied and killed off characters. And it's just, and plus she's not like a good character in the way of her writing, especially that we don't know why she is the way that she is. So, nah, fuck her. I hope she gets like the most gruesome death. I don't care who does it. Like, if you want John to do it, fine. But please, all I'm asking is that she's in pain. She is screaming in agony and she begs to like stay alive, but she dies. That's all I'm wanting. But yeah, I know that's very detailed for, quite a death like that. But again, I just want this to be like the most impactful, more than Lionheart, more than Adam, more than the other characters that have already died. Just make this the peak of that. That's all I'm asking.
all I really, some of the stuff I want cleared up is, I forgot to bring this up in the 7 talk, is Ren. Ren, he's been acting a bit weird lately. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's intentional by the writers. I don't know if it's just character stuff, but Ren has been very strange this volume. A lot of people were even theorizing that he was Neo at one point, and I was like, what the hell?
Well, thank God that theory was debunked.
But no, Ren has definitely been in his feelings. I don't know if it's the presence of Salem affecting him, or, of course, his relationship with Nora. It was at its peak in this volume. Mm-hmm. So maybe that, because he was even crying when Neo turned into Nora. I was like, oh, okay.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. Actually, I think the peak of Ren and Nora's relationship was in Volume 4.
Oh no, Volume. When they go back to the hometown, yeah. But I definitely want to know what's going on. I want some insight on on how he's feeling.
Yeah, because it's really confusing with his behavior that way. And honestly, I'm just gonna say this right now, like, they already did this. Like, honestly, I feel like this is something that should have not been at all to begin with his anxiety and the way how he's been losing his cool, which is really unexpected because that's not Ren's character at all. So, even though I'm not a fan of it, since they already did it in Volume 7, they might as well keep up with this momentum at this point. Because if he goes back to the way how he was back in the previous chapter, Volume 7, then that's gonna look strangely odd and very inconsistent. And the points to where he talked, that could have been actually saved up for Jean talking. Because Jean did not actually spoke that much in the dialogue of RWBY Volume 7.
Look, this is all the part of Rooster Teeth's plan. They're gonna kill Ren and Nora, and Jean's gonna be left all alone.
Yikes!
And it will still be called Team Orange Juice. OJ.
Oh no!
It's gonna be called Team J.
Team J. Well, what about Oscar?
No. Because he's gonna die.
Look, bro. I think Penny's just gonna replace Pura at this point. So it's fine. It's whatever.
Well, yeah. You have Oscar and then Jean and then Penny. So, oh god, what would you think of that?
That team's. We need a new member. All right, Robin, come here.
Robin, come. Oh god.
Actually, it works out because the letters. Wait, no.
No.
Wait. No.
J.
Jorv.
No,
unless you make Robin the team leader, then you will be able to have Raw. No, rope. You can have rope.
Team Roop. That's hype. Anyway.
Rope. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the Happy Hunters are gonna die anyway, right? So.
Exactly.
We need
So
a
like
replacement,
they didn't even serve any type of purpose. They were just like, oh no, Robin, don't leave me.
Look, I know this is never gonna happen, but this is like my dream one day. I want Team Stark to pull up. Like, I want Team Stark to reunite. Well, Summer, of course, and she's not here, but, you know.
It should happen.
Team Tack.
Whatever.
Oh,
I want
Wait,
Raven,
I got that wrong.
Tark,
yeah, my bad.
I want Raven to be bad mom again, so it's all good.
Yeah, no.
That works out.
Look, okay, it's like what I was saying earlier, like, you know, again, like, with the amount of power, like, because again, like, they were just like, oh yeah, Crow and Raven, they're equal in power. Oh yeah, Volume 5 definitely proved us all wrong. But, yeah, no, because that's the thing, is the fact that, like, okay, like, honestly, if she comes back, she should have a character redemption. I think she can get it, especially the fact that it didn't go to Cinder or anyone in Salem, at least back in that time. In a way, she did help out in some way. And she cares about Yang.
They need to make up the fact that we never got an end credit scene for this volume.
Oh, that's so true. Oh,
look. I want to see Ty and her's conversation because I know she's with Ty. Hopefully, I don't know, but maybe she just used him as a means of teleportation. But whatever. Hopefully, she's with Ty, and if she is with Ty, then Ty can finally give the rundown. Like, hey, bitch, look, we have a daughter. She's going through a lot of stuff right now. We got to work it out. It's like, okay.
That bitch was in tears, though.
Exactly. But then again, Raven is scared. Raven is scared of Salem, so.
Unfortunately, yeah, she is. I just... Because it's like, Raven, right now, she's irrelevant. She's not, like, after for Volume 5, she served her purpose, so... I just hope it's not a long... Like, if it's a long time that we don't see her, okay, fine, but... If there's a chance that she should come back, now's the time. Now is definitely the time if they want any victory. Yeah, she's a maiden. And so is Penny. So you have two maidens, and they only have one. There you go. That's that's basically
Wait,
an
do
even fight.
they have one though? Depends what Cinder does.
What do you mean?
Wait, yeah, Cinder's their only maiden, right?
Yeah, she's the only
Yeah.
maiden that they
Well, yeah.
have. So
Depends what she does, because I feel like she'll go rogue, in my opinion.
Now we just gotta get the Summer Maiden, but wait, who could that possibly be?
that's what I'm curious is the fact that I wonder what was Salem's plans with the Summer Maiden.
Look, as much as I hate this theory, I honestly think Summer is still alive, most likely.
Honestly,
Wait,
I
why?
kind of see it.
Yeah.
Because
Wait, really?
as of recent, I don't know if you've noticed, as of recent, Summer has been a big topic of conversation. We finally saw what she looks like fully what she looks like, because the only times we saw her, she was in like that stupid hoodie.
Right.
We actually saw like her face in volume 6, and she was brought up again in volume 7 with the conversation between Ruby and Crow when they're eating cake, and when Salem's like, "Oh yeah, your mom."
Your mom.
Oh yeah, and even in the new comics that are coming out that I think DC are making, Summer was brought up again. We got to see Raven roast baby,
Oh,
Ruby,
yeah.
which is not very nice.
What? I
Wasn't
thought that
very
was nice.
That was great.
No.
What do you mean? I love that.
Yes, because telling a 5-year-old that your mother is a terrible human being is very nice.
Okay, I think
Hey.
just the situation was funny. Okay.
Hey, she made her stronger at the end of the day.
No, she didn't. Anyway.
It's a trigger.
Yeah.
Whenever the mom's mentioned, she cries.
Yeah, I mean, Silver Eyes, Ex Machina, so, you know, yay.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, because of that, like, I get it, like, especially, like, she should definitely try to keep her powers intact and, like, away from Salem far away as possible. Specifically to, well, I want to say specifically to Cinder because, I mean, we already saw that Raven outclasses Cinder in every aspect. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just the fact that, like, if she comes back and if she gets a character redemption arc, great. If she doesn't, at least try to help out. Even if it's for her own benefit, that's fine.
Just have her around, man. I miss her. It's been a while. It's been like 2 volumes. I just want to see her. That's all I really want to do.
Right. So, definitely. So, and plus, I mean, again, between with Raven and Yang, I definitely want to see like what's gonna happen, especially after Raven talks to Tai, and especially like, what is she gonna do next? What about her tribe? What's next after that? What's her end goal now that, well, you didn't grab the lamp that you said you would. Your daughter did, and she even told you. You're scared, she's not, and, you know, it even pains you this way. And even though, like, in a way, she was a horrible mom, she had every right. Well, I want to say every right. Let me take that back. I would say it's understandable why she left. Why she is kept far away from a distance. It's fucked up, though, but, like, after volume 6, I can't imagine how much tea she was drinking that day. But, I just hope that, because again, like, I think we should learn a little bit more about her too. I feel like this should be done with the character short with that. With volume 8, maybe, if they're gonna bring her back. If not, well, cause, honestly, if we're gonna wait until we go back all the way to Vale to find the relic of, choice, I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna have a little bit of a problem with that, because obviously that's where Tai resides, all the way back in Vale, trying to rebuild things in, Beacon Academy, and keeping Shade Academy at bay, and hopefully trying to, keep the Grim away, but that's impossible. I don't know. It's gonna be really hard. I will see that it's a challenge to write her back in, though, but at least that it's not over. So, honestly, Raven, please. And plus, I she's my favorite character, as mentioned before, so I stan her. Let's go.
Yeah.
Another thing that I feel like I definitely do see this happening in this volume. If not, I will be a little bit surprised. But I feel like now that they have the relic, and say that Salem does get it, or Cinder, I feel like the last question is going to be used.
I'm not. I don't know. I feel like that's like end game. I feel like they're gonna save the last question till like what? How many is it? 10?
Well, we don't know when Ruby's gonna end.
Yeah, whenever Ruby's gonna end, I feel like that's when they're gonna use the final question. What's the final question? I have no clue. But whatever they decide to choose, I trust in these 4 teenage girls. So.
Well, it's actually gonna be Ruby, I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice if somebody else were to ask it.
Yes.
Wait, isn't Austin the only person that knows how it works? Or was it before they found the land? Yeah.
He used to be the only one, but now Ruby, the gang now knows of how to summon the land.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, but no one else.
Jin couldn't keep her mouth shut, so she basically exploited exposition, how the lamp works and shit. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
So,
okay. Yeah, just making sure. Because I'm like, Cinder has it, but she can't. She doesn't have it.
right. Oh, that'd be interesting. Well then again, I feel like she's gonna go back, because again, Salem, she brought her house on top of that fat ass whale. She actually brought that house, so she's gonna be like, oh hey, look what I did something good, I brought it here, and then, well, they're probably gonna have a little talk about that. That's gonna be so fucking stupid.
look, here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna get all the relics. The gods are gonna be like, oh my god, hi guys, let's fix the moon. Alright, we're gonna take this girl with us. Bye. And then they just leave. That's what's gonna happen.
See, well, that's something
What
that they're
were we
gonna do,
saying?
but they need to see humanity reunited as whole.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, that has to be
Humanity
good,
kinda
good boys and girls before.
They
Yeah.
can't be racist. They can't demand of the gods. They have to be good boys and girls.
Look, fondness equality is still bad, so I doubt the gods are gonna be positive about
Yeah, like-
anything, but
Well, that's the thing. Here's the thing that I don't understand. Like, okay, I get the gods, like, you know, like, oh my god, mankind is demanding us and stuff like that, though. But you do realize this is all being, you know, this is possible of this one fucking living whatever she is. You know, she's the reason why humanity is divided. So it's like, why would you give her that power? Oh my lord. Like, you actually just set up a game between two people that just won't die.
And it's doomed to fail. Humanity can't unite. That's not, like, logically, it doesn't work.
And that's the thing, like, you know, at Salem, she somehow managed to find control over the Grimm because, well, we saw what happened in, you know, Volume 6, Chapter 3. We saw the T, and how the fuck are we supposed to beat her? Which, you know, I understand that's the plot point as to how we're gonna find out that happy ending, even though I am gonna laugh that Salem actually wins and that's how the show ends. But
Oh shit, that would be
they're
scary.
gonna. I feel like they're gonna probably find a loophole around the whole she can't be killed thing.
right.
Yeah, Ruby's gonna
Don't know
open her
how.
eyes.
Ruby's gonna probably use the
Yeah, just-
Sharingan,
Yeah,
which
just
will
wink.
allow him to win.
Oh,
The wings at Salem just use evaporate.
It's like, no matter how it doesn't matter. However they end Ruby, I'll probably be satisfied. Maybe, yes.
But before they end Ruby, some characters have to die besides Cinder.
And those are.
Definitely the rest of the Aesops. They need to go.
Okay.
Wait, I reckon that all just get eaten right
Look,
well.
I feel like the Aesop. I think half of them should go. Like you can take Harriet. I don't
I
need
agree.
her. You can take her.
Bye.
You can bye. And I guess you can take the strong girl. I really liked her. But then
Elm?
she started acting up.
Elm.
Yeah, she started like acting up. You can take her too. I think Marrow and the bald head guy should stay.
Wow, you don't find dirty like that.
Yeah, Vine's kind of cool. I'm not gonna do him like that.
He sounds like he could be a Herbie.
I think Harriet and Marrow should go.
I as much as I hate Marrow and his actions, and he's annoying, but he was the most reasonable. Like, he didn't even want conflict. He tried to explain to them, hey, look, maybe we shouldn't be doing this, but they didn't want to listen, so
Right.
yeah, you know. Once they find out that Clover is dead, they're gonna be very heartbroken. They're like, oh, we're not a team. We're not even friends. We're just a team. Well, we'll see about that.
Well, see, that's the thing that I predict is what's gonna happen, because the minute that they find out Clover is dead, they're not gonna ask questions. they're gonna go against with Team Ruby again. So I feel like there's gonna be a part 2 fight to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I guess I'm hoping that I think this is something that I can imagine there might be another free for all, not just with Team Ruby versus the Aesops, probably with Cinder's faction as well.
Ooh, Mercury.
Mercury and Emerald, or Hazel, or Tyrion again.
Oh yeah, Hazel. Hazel versus Elm would be very cool.
Can you believe that like none of Cinder's dudes have died yet?
Yeah, I'm surprised
actually
that the
pretty
faction has
impressed,
survived
Like-
this long for 7 volumes.
That's actually...
The only casualty is Cinder's arm.
Oh, and Mercury's legs, but we don't talk about that. Speaking of which, I wonder what they're gonna do. I feel like Emerald is probably gonna get a redemption arc. I don't want her to, but she most likely will.
Yeah, I feel like she would be one to flip to another side. I think.
Mercury, not really sure because he likes
dick.
what he's
I don't like
doing.
her.
He's just a dick on purpose. I feel like he's gonna
yeah.
die. He's gonna die. Yang's gonna break his neck
Oh,
or
yes,
something.
please.
I don't know, but I feel like he's gonna die. And Hazel, I don't want him to die because I actually feel bad for Hazel. He's the most reasonable villain.
Oh, no.
A villain with moral code is very interesting, and like I said, I hope they dive more into that.
Tyrion's still here, so he ran off. He ran off from the authorities.
What do you guys think? Do you think Crow versus Tyrion Part 3 is gonna happen in Volume 8?
Yes.
They gotta run it back one more time.
Yeah, I think I know.
And hopefully this time Crow actually cuts this dude's head off or something, because I'm getting tired of him.
Crow got too many L's, bro.
Yeah, Crow's been getting way too many L's. Crow needs one
I
W
don't
at least.
want help from Ruby. I don't want help from Ironwood. Anybody? No. That's
No.
a fair fight that Crow should have personally.
1-on-1.
Yes.
Final destination. No items. It's easy.
Wow. Oh gosh.
But I want Oscar. Oh yeah, wait. This is a note. Salem meeting Oscar, please. I want that. I wanted that since like volume 6 and I didn't get it. So give it
She'll
to
know
me.
immediately.
She will know. She knew
Immediately.
in the past when it was the first time, so she will know. And I feel I don't know. I think our little farm boy is gonna get captured. But
Oh, definitely. I see that happening.
Oh, I kind of wish he weren't though. I feel like it would be more independent, and, like more interesting.
I don't know how Oscar's gonna negotiate with this woman. It's gonna be very hard. Like, hey, I'm not your husband, your ex-husband. Your ex-husband's inside me. Don't let your anger out on me. It's not really my fault. Kind of been thrust into this position, but you know.
Oh god. What if
Maybe
they
it's
like
a-
trick her to be like, wait, I'm sorry, and I want to work with you in taking over the world.
Hey, I mean, Oscar could do that. He's a smart boy. He could be like, hey, you know, you got a big whale. I've got a cane that can do magic stuff. We can do something together, you know?
Oh my god.
It's all good. And then Salem will probably ponder about the idea, but she'll definitely agree because she needs more people on her side.
Alright, buddy.
Alright, well that's some tea. Well
Yeah, I can't wait to see that on Wattpad.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to see that on fanfiction.net. I made, by the way, every time I come up with an idea and it happens, people take credit for it. So I just want you to know if that actually happens, I said it here first. It was me. I did it.
Alright, edit this out.
Alright, I got you. Anyways. Yeah, and of course, like, it will be also interesting to see, like, not just the semblance, but what, because, again, if Osmond has the power of magic, then Oscar will be able to take advantage of that as well.
Woo, wizard.
Do they share some? Is that a thing?
No.
No. So, how that works, because whoever that Osmond pairs up with, they get a new semblance in each and every way. But there's a theory that it's similar as time goes on, or like there's just one big semblance though, but that's impossible because otherwise if Osmond was Oscar, he would have already had his previous semblance with his previous body, but that didn't happen. So, yeah, so it'll just be some type of, fusing magic and then you have the semblance. And, we can just see of like where the uniqueness will take off for Oscar because I kind of like, if Oscar has been around for this long, I just hope he doesn't become one of those other characters like not Oscar, Adam, Sienna Khan and such being that character until they get to the end, you know, with nothing else at the
Yeah.
end. Because I feel like Oscar serves the purpose to be his own person, even though he has to deal with Ozpin's bullshit.
He definitely deserves to be his own character, and hopefully the writers realize this by the time they get to the end. So, yeah.
So I know I said this earlier about Atlas actually falling. If you guys have to see about this, because again, the rule with the staff, once it's out of that door, it can only serve one purpose at a time. So once that purpose is gone, what do you guys think that staff is going to be used for?
A walking stick for Maria.
You know, I agree with Nikki.
I think the sword of destruction will most likely just be a background item for Jean. I think all of these once all the uses are done, they're just gonna be accessories, right?
Oh my god.
The lamp is just gonna be a little thing on Oscar's waist. Okay? The crown is gonna be Cinder's gonna put on the crown and be like, look at me, I'm queen now. Ooh. Jean's gonna have that big ass sword on his back.
Oh no.
And the staff is gonna be a walking stick for Maria. There you go. A win.
Wow. Imagine Maria actually talking to Salem.
She would definitely, like, even though she's old and she's probably about to die, she'd probably still talk shit.
She would talk the
Yeah,
most
she would.
She'll talk shit to her grave. I love Maria.
Even when she's dying, she'll annoy Salem in the back of her mind. She'll just be like, ugh, God, look at you, thinking you're hot shit. When I was at your age. Oh my god.
I'm a silver-eyed warrior, bitch. I was.
I was. Imagine if she actually gets a personal vendetta because of what happened to her silver eyes.
Hey, man, I'm just kind of upset that Tracer from Overwatch just took it away from her. Hopefully she gets it back.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, you really went that low.
I've never heard that one. That was a pretty good one.
It's just, it's upsetting. It's kind of upsetting that her eyes just got destroyed. Now she has these robotic ones.
I thought, I was totally expecting someone like a lot more of like higher status would be taking the eyes because I thought there was like
some random
some
monsters
elite,
who can stop
I thought it would
time.
be some
Like,
elite gang just chilling, trying to like capture.
no, it's just Tracer.
They never talked
Tracer.
about that. Like, we don't even know if they were part of Salem's faction or not.
Yeah, we have no
weren't.
idea. They just look like some bandits. I'm like,
Some bounty hunters. Oh,
just
you have a high one.
Team Overwatch is after the eyes.
Yeah, Tracer. She wanted it,
Oh my god.
but
Yeah, we already know how that went.
unfortunately,
Here's the biggest thing I strongly want this for this volume is the new dynamic between Weiss and Winter now.
oh yeah, they're not really fucking with each other anymore.
Yeah, because that was like the last part of family that Weiss had, and like now there's a divide between them.
Well, Watts hates everyone now.
Yeah.
Not Watts. Wait, what's his name? The boy. Whitley. Shit, sorry.
I was like, what? I'm like, what?
Fucking loser. Anyway. Whitley, you know, he hates everyone. He just looked pissed off at the end. Dad's arrested. We're never gonna see her again. And now Winter and Weiss have this, it's complicated.
You know what's funny? The Ruby community, or someone pointed out that Weiss's mom has the dead hair mom haircut.
Oh yeah, dead anime mom haircut. Well, she might die. Who knows?
I hope she doesn't.
I heard they own the whale.
She looked
This whale is gonna be really fat by the end of this arc, isn't he?
He's already
fat as is.
Oh my god!
Like literally, like okay. Once they get the staff, Salem's gonna take that whale, eat that bitch up, and it's gonna sit right on top of Mantle, and then she's gonna be like, "Yeah, this is my new home now, guys."
Damn.
That's actually kind of scary now that you think about it. Like, so somewhere she was lurking outside the kingdoms, and now like she's making one of her kingdoms, one of the most elitist kingdoms, her home. That's a big W for her, actually.
Look, as long as she gets her throne room and her children are eating happy, and her whale has the leverage of space to go around stuff, I think she'll be fine. She'll be okay.
but she also wants the relics.
Oh yeah, those two. Those little trinkets.
And she wants everyone dead.
Oh yeah, that too.
Wait. Doesn't Sailor want to kill the gods or manipulate the gods again?
No. Her stance on the gods, because again, the gods can't come unless they're summoned. So, like, unless... Well, she doesn't want to get yeeted.
Okay, good.
Because if the gods come, she's gone.
They have the weight
to destroy
as...
the relics.
Yeah. Apparently, like, as they said before, like, those relics, they have the weight as an atomic bomb, apparently. Even, like, when they're not using to their own power. But once they're all together, well, it's over for Remnant.
It's over for Whale.
I don't know about the whale. I think that Salem wants more
The
creations of
whale
that whale.
is gonna eat all of the relics. And then Ruby ends.
Just explodes.
They explode inside of that grave.
And then the whole world is a monster level in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
But no. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just, but going back to that, though, like, it's interesting to see that. I'm hoping Winter comes around. She doesn't, like, stay at her own party like that, because she obviously cares for her sister, but it's just sad that, like, she rather follows the orders, and she wants to, like, you know, be someone that represses her emotions rather than, well, follow the example of what Penny is doing. Following her heart.
Narratively, I feel like having Winter on the other side is going to be a lot more interesting. Because if you're just above Team Ruby, obviously, like a whole dynamic of being some kind of anti-hero position is gone.
That would add to that, actually. You're right. Yeah, that's the thing I'm curious about, because, again, like, this is, like, technically, like, right now, this is a civil war, in a way, with Team Ruby versus Atlas, and then Salem that just came in to invade the kingdom. So, yikes. But I don't know, it's just the fact that, like, I wonder, like, how long Winter's gonna, like, really put up with that. And then, you know, the fate of the Shnees, even though we said that they're probably gonna low-key die, though. But it's like, I don't really see the point of Whitley and Willow being around anymore until, well, darkness. We see the skies of darkness outside here and there and everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, and I wonder how they're gonna escape Atlas. Because they gotta go to Vacuo next.
That's why we got Sun and Team Coffee. I don't know. Hopefully, Sun and Team Coffee pull through. Because, you know, right now, it's looking a bit sticky. They can't really leave. Because if they leave now... well, first off, Oscar is there. They're gonna leave Crow as well. And Robin, I guess, because Robin has to tag along too. Plus all the innocent civilians. It's just like...
It's war now.
Mm-hmm.
See, here's another thing I'm hoping for Volume 8. Since we're here now, like, it's safe to assume, I wouldn't say assume, it's safe to say that the circumstances of Volume 7 are much worse than what happened in Volume 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right now, yeah.
Yeah, for right now, so I feel like Volume 8 should be one of the most, like, it should be as long as Volume 6, if not, maybe longer.
Give me 15 chapters.
15 chapters?
Now.
15 chapters. They all must be 20 minutes or more.
Oh my god. Look, bro, take as much time as you need. Don't rush. Take your time, alright? And give me a 2-hour special. Give me a 3-hour special. And we'll see.
I wonder how they're gonna introduce this, because, like, this is gonna be the first volume that's not gonna start off with a happy, like, you know, a happy intro or anything like that. Because back all the way to Volume 4, 5, 6, and even 7, like, you know, there's always that type of happy tune attitude. And then they go over, like, okay, so this is what's going on. So, yeah, there might be some tension. But, like, you know, again, like, they'll be happy and they'll be able to pull through. I don't see that happening for Volume 8 at all. I see that they're, like, gonna be tense as fuck throughout the entire first episode.
I feel like I feel like the opening song might be a reflection, since we're talking about, so we brought up music before. Volume 3's opening was a good contrast to how Volume 3 actually played out. So hopefully we get a much darker toned opening for Volume 8. Hopefully, I don't know.
Well, it's fun. Now that you say that, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he says that Volume 7 is pretty much a huge irony because the opening is trust, love, and then it ends with fear, countering, against the odds of trust, love. Because guess what happened? Look at Ironwood as a great example of that.
Yeah.
So, it's very unfortunate. I'm just hoping that... Because, again, like, this is so hard to, like, even predict of how many chapters Volume 8 is gonna get, because I'm gonna bring this fact up right now. Volume 8 and 9 got the green lit. Like, yeah, they can start the development with those 2 volumes. So, I'm just worried that... Because I see the Atlas arc ending with Volume 8, because Volume 9... Because I see this, because they kind of insinuated this, that every 3 volumes there's going to be some type of Ruby upgrade or update with their outfits and stuff like that. So, and as we've noticed before, there has to be at least 1 volume in the middle of your 3 traditional volumes. There has to be a traveling arc to the next kingdom or wherever.
Maybe, this is my theory, maybe, I don't think this will happen. Maybe they leave Atlas early. I don't think it will. Maybe like halfway through Volume 8, they leave Atlas to go to Vecchio. And then it continues, and then Volume 9 just transitions from there. It could be.
It could, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to get tired of the traveling arcs. Yeah,
exactly, because it cuts time from, oh, we have to get from point A to point B. This is long.
Yeah, because Ruby 4, like Volume 4, it felt very long with traveling just to get to Mistral.
They were in a room for like 3 volumes doing nothing.
Oh yeah, for 5, and then, at least 6 they traveled again. Which it was nice, yeah, but...
But I'm getting sick of the traveling. We gotta get some fast transport, okay? God.
Here's a question for you guys. Do you think Team Ruby's gonna get split up again at one point?
Yes.
Like for more than like 3-4 episodes?
Yeah, like basically like what happened in Volume 3. Like they were all split. Do you think that might happen again?
I don't want it to be the case. Look, I don't want it to be the case where they're eventually split up again. But considering certain circumstances currently happening right now, I think it would be much beneficial for certain individuals to go one place and other individuals to stay at one place. Maybe some of Team Ruby stays in Atlas and the other half go to Vecchio. I'm assuming, and when I mean the other half, I'm saying Blake and Yang going to Vecchio and Ruby and Y staying in Atlas.
I think that's a fair trade from there. Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Because again, Blake has her connections with certain people. Her dad.
Well, they're all the way in Menagerie.
I know, but still, again,
fair enough.
I just feel like those two are a very good pair, so I feel like those 2 can work stuff out by themselves. Weiss has connection to Atlas, so...
Yeah, that could be, because Blake could be able to get the backup from Menagerie, and then find out through Sun of what's going on.
Yeah, and also, probably not just Blake, not just Blake and Yang, most likely some of Team Junior too. I say Junior loosely.
Team Orange.
Yeah.
Team Orange.
Team Orange. But no, I could see that. I don't know. I also don't want it to happen as well though. But like that's something that's been like lingering on my mind because of how everything is going. So because I know like they made it strongly emphasize that we're back together, we're not going to lose each other this time, but I feel like it's not going to be out of choice like it was back then. It's going to be out of like, because like everything is so fucked up, they were forced to be in those spots.
Right, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll take that, I'll believe that.
Plus, they have phones. Jesus, use your phones, talk to each other.
They can't.
It's fine. Oh wait, no, they can't even do that anymore.
Yeah, they can't anymore. That's the purpose of the Amity Tower, but you can thank General Ironwood for that one.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that's just something that's like lingering on my mind, because like I get it, like back then it was hard for the characters, like to develop the characters with weird time frames back in Volume 4 and 5, so it was a lot beneficial that they came back together though. But I feel like it would be different if they're split up again, so hopefully they don't make the same mistakes like they did last time, because everything's now becoming more fast-paced, which that's great, that's amazing, but they kind of have to slow down just a little bit, especially for the fact that characters didn't have the chance to shine or really learn for their purpose as to why they were introduced to begin with, you know, rather than just being a plot convenience. So, yeah, other than that, I see Volume 8 concluding the Atlas arc. And as for Salem being there, that's gonna be so hard, because again, this feels like this is happening all too early, which I'm gonna have to go back to this quote. The timeline has changed through Ironwood and Cinder. I feel like now like shit is hitting the fan too, because Cinder didn't even expect that shit would be hitting this hard. So I just wonder of like what is the premises of the plan that Salem wants to do, rather than just like we already know is to destroy humanity, but what is like this big stage that you're setting up for? And I'm scared because again, like even though we saw that giant whale, what's gonna happen?
Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
I just hope they introduce this just right, because again, they're not doing their usual introductions to the volumes like they did in the past. So hopefully maybe we get a character short, maybe 2, because we haven't gotten those in a while. Because again, this is gonna be like we're picking off to what Volume 7 left off. So I guess we'll just have to see.
Also, a side note, I kind of hope they don't introduce a new character or someone that's not overly major, because I feel like they already have so much potential with all these other characters to do so much.
Knowing Ruby, I wouldn't doubt it, but like I feel like they probably are going to introduce a major important character with some major important arc. I'm like,
they really don't need to. They have more than enough characters to tell whatever story they need to be honest.
I get that they only need to do it with Vacuo, but I just hope they didn't do it at all in Volume 8. There's no reason to introduce any new characters in Volume 8. So,
unless it's to set something up for flashback or something, like a flashback character that's important. Oh, that's okay, I guess. But no one that's majorly changing events in the present.
Yeah, because, you know, as we've already talked about with the other characters that were introduced and such, it kind of left off a weird taste in our mouths regarding with these sets of characters that were introduced. Robin Hill and her Happy Huntresses and such, and, you know, we can name off the list even more from after that. But, yeah, I think that's all I really have to say for, like, the expectations and the hopes and predictions of Volume 8. How about, the two of you?
I think that's enough. Yeah, we're good.
Alrighty, and that is all for the podcast episode of Follow the Red Brick Road Part 2. If you are listening to the show on Apple Podcasts, be sure to leave out a 5-star rating if you enjoyed the podcast. Hit up the Storm Connect Twitter at StormConnectEN or other platforms this podcast is on for feedback on the show. This is Zeno Ninja.
You can follow me at Kimchu on Twitter. I post some pretty cool graphic stuff occasionally.
You can follow me at NakeemVO on Twitter. I sometimes upload voice stuff. Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning into this podcast, and for you guys, I'll see you guys next Wednesday.